Hi everyone, welcome back to our series on pivot table. This will be the sixth episode and final episode on pivot tables. There is some gap between episode 5 and episode 6. If you don't remember, please go back and see the episodes 1 to 5 to understand completely about pivot tables. In this particular episode, we will cover few pending areas which we didn't cover in the earlier episodes and which are useful. So let's start with the first option which I can say. So for example, this particular account numbers are sorted in ascending order, right? I don't want it in ascending order. I want it somewhere like this to be the first one, 3 6 6 2 1. How can I move it? There are a couple of options which you can move. First option, you can right click and click on move. Move to the up, down, however you want, you can move it. Or the second option, which is quite easy, I feel, you can just drag and drop wherever you want. So keep your cursor whichever cell you want to move, and you can wait for this four arrows to come. Once this four arrows is there, you can just drag and drop anywhere like this. Okay, it is as simple as this. So whichever cell, for example, this you want to move this, you can just move. So the second option which we are going to see, for example, we have the values, but I want to know which is the biggest uh, value in this. You know, all this list I want to see, if I have to scroll down and find out which is the biggest one, it's very difficult thing, right? If I have to find out easily, here I have, once I right click on the pivot table, I'll get this pop-up window where I can select the show values. You have a lot of options to choose from. You can choose this particular option, which is ranking. So the moment you do this, it will give you the totals for each GL account. Like in the advances, I have 14 lines, and for the 14 lines, it categorizes 1 to 14. And similarly for accrual, 40 some 8 lines are there, and it categorizes that. Similarly for each category, we got the rankings. So you can easily identify now this particular account is having the highest balance. If you want to see percentages of totals, so total will be considered as 100%, and it will calculate the percentages. Or you can give a index, which is just like numbering for each unique item. Or you can also have percentage of parent totals. So it will consider this advance as a 100%, and it will give you the percentage between advance and percentage for accrual, percentage for AP. Like that, you can calculate. You have multiple options you can choose based on what you want. Okay. So the third option which we're going to see, once you right click again, you will see this pivot table options. Here you have a lot of options again, like a lot of tabs we have, and you can choose whichever you want. So I'll go through only the few things which are important and which can make some difference to you. So first thing is, if you want the layout always to be merged in center for the headers, like for example this advanced totals, if you want them to be merged in center always, you can select this, so it will be by default merge in center. Okay. So if you don't want, you can just untick that, and it will go back to the normal view. And the second option, if there are any errors or if there are any blank cells in the particular data you have, like in the values, if you have any blank cells or any errors, how you want to see that output. So for example, if there's any error, I just want to see error. Or if there's any blank cells, I want to see blank. So you can choose that options as well. So if there's anything available, for example, if I change the pivot layout, so wherever there is a blank, it will just show like this. Whatever option I choose, it will reflect over here. And if there's any error, it will show in the same way, like error. In the current data, we don't have any error, so it's not reflecting anything. So that is one more option. And the next option, which we are going to see, whenever you open the Excel, you want to refresh your data automatically, you can choose this. Another data tab you can have, refresh data when opening the file. So this will automatically refresh the data whenever you close and open the Excel again. And the last option we are going to see is whether you want to see this expand and collapse buttons. So here, this minus or plus symbol, these are expand and collapse buttons in Excel. Whether you want to see them or not. If you don't want to see them, you can just untick and that buttons will be gone. If you want to see them, you can again add it back. So these are the few simple things which will help you um, doing the pivot tables in a better way. Hope this helps. Thank you.